The solar market is saturated. Everyone's selling the same price-based pitch. Competing on price is killing solar businesses and the industry's reputation. But what if you could quickly be different from every other door-to-door rep or solar consultant? I'm going to show you how, as well as the 5 self-inflicted wounds that are making you sound like everybody else. Hey, it's Drew Norton, and welcome back to the Everyday Sales Leader. Today, we're tackling the elephant in the room, solar saturation. We're not just talking about handling objections, we're fundamentally rethinking your entire solar sales strategy to overcome the unique challenges of a crowded and commoditized market. We're going to explore how to break free from the trap of price-focused selling and craft a compelling sales identity built on expertise and long-term value, and really offer sophisticated solutions that goes far beyond the basic panels on the roof positioning, that goes far beyond the basic panels on a roof, positioning yourself as an invaluable resource, not just another replaceable solar provider. Now, here's why so many solar salespeople and companies are struggling, often inadvertently making the situation worse for themselves and damaging the industry's overall reputation. There's 5 self-inflicted wounds that are causing this saturation death spiral. First is just door knock and ad nausea, the same tired, generic pitch about saving money on electric bills, repeated ad nauseism through relentless door knocking and spammy ads are creating homeowner fatigue, distrust, and really a sense of, oh, great, here we go again, right? Second is the presentation paradox, the same cookie cutter PowerPoints or presentations, the same simplistic and misleading financing options, the same high pressure manipulative closes, making every company and sales rep sound frustratingly interchangeable and inherently untrustworthy. Third is the fatal price focus. We've just gotten way too focused on saving people money in solar. It's really just a destructive obsession when it comes to undercutting each other on price. And when that happens, we're ignoring the immense opportunity to educate, differentiate, and offer truly valuable long-term energy solutions that really transcend the limitations of a simple price tag. Number 4 is the utility ignorance trap, a shocking and industry-wide lack of in-depth understanding of complex utility rate structures, net metering policies, and the implications of emerging energy storage and management technologies leads to inaccurate and misleading savings projections and a severe erosion of customer trust. Last is the battery blind spot. There's a widespread failure to recognize and effectively communicate the proactively really promote the transformative potential that battery storage and smart energy management systems have on the industry. And I see a lot of solar sales reps that are clinging to outdated and commoditized panel-only solutions and really missing an opportunity to provide real value and create a powerful competitive advantage. And I found this is leading to 3 things. Really a predictable cycle of decline. It's creating brutal and unsustainable price wars. And we've seen it in the industry. We've seen some of the top installers nationwide go belly up the last few years. We've seen several, right? Customers, because of this, are unable to discern the difference when it becomes a price battle. And so they just go with the lowest price that drives the bottom line, which creates really low margins and makes it unprofitable for solar installers to really stay in business. Second is I'm seeing deepening distrust and cynicism in the solar industry. And this has been happening for years, but homeowners become skeptical and even hostile towards the solar industry, viewing them as interchangeable commodities because they're unreliable. They're motivated by short-term sales solutions or short-term gains, like they get a big commission and you never can get a hold of your solar guy ever again, and then not long-term customer well-being. The third problem I see is burnout and attrition. Talented and potentially valuable sales reps get discouraged by the constant price pressure, commoditized nature of the sales process, and the lack of support and training for offering really sophisticated and differentiated solutions. And it's led to a high turnover and really a big cycle of inexperience and mediocrity inside of the industry. Now, that's not the case for everyone and everywhere. And I see it huge on a large scale. And we're going to probably see that more this year. If the tax credit actually goes away, we're going to see a huge rush and a bunch of sales come through because of that. And I think we're going to see a lot of problems happen as a part of this. There are going to be those that position themselves for the future, whether or not that tax credit goes away. So I want to talk about how you can take the 5 steps of the sales inception framework and use that to differentiate yourself. I'm going to focus more on how you differentiate yourself on the doors, but you can also differentiate yourself in consultations. On the doors, it's really about what you say and how you say it. If you sound like every other door-to-door salesperson, you're not going to get very far. Secondly, if you come into the house and you're presenting solar, especially if there's competition and you sound like everybody else, or your only thing you can offer is a lower price, you're going to lose when you can't beat somebody else's price. We start with a kick. From the very first interaction, I want to change the way people look at me or think about me. I want to sound like somebody different. And so what worked really well for me, and if you're wondering who is this guy, like my best year, nothing that's impossible, but my best year was 140 accounts sold, and around 120 of those were actually installed. So I've sold at volume. More than half of those were actually self-generated. I've been there and I've done it. And what I found that really helped me on the doors is making sure I sounded different. When I was in the home, it was what makes our company or our product or what we do different, right? And being able to say what that is and really differentiate that for the client. So on the doors, look, if you want to sound like everyone else, hey, I'm Drew with XYZ Solar. And the reason we're stopping by today is we're looking to help. We've helped a couple of the neighbors save money. Or did you guys hear about the rate increase going with the utility company? Those have been said over and over for years and years. And what I see that's happening is to try and differentiate themselves or to try and avoid the, oh, is this solar question? I see people going down paths that are misleading. Oh, we're not selling you anything. Oh, this isn't solar. When that's actually what you are there to do. So what I found worked really well is a couple questions that allowed people to say no that came from a different angle. So, hey, I'm Drew. Actually, before I get too far, are you guys renting the house here too? I don't know if you guys heard, but XYZ Utility, they just proposed a 15% increase on the electric prices. Were you guys in support of that increase? You know, if I go into their home, maybe it's like, hey, tell me why we're actually meeting today. Like, what are you looking for? If you're meeting with multiple companies, what's going to make this the best other than price? Like, what's important to you? So you start doing some proper discovery and one, recognize what they want. 2, actually help them recognize some things they may not understand that they want or should be looking for in a company. So then I want to plant the seed. I want to go past that idea of saving money and get them to start thinking about the other benefits. And I can do that through giving a little bit of info and then asking some strategic questions. Usually what I will do is say something, once again, to pre-handle some objections. Hey, for most people, they either haven't been interested in solar, or if they have been, they looked at it and it didn't make financial sense. Here's what we do different. And then typically I'm going to explain very simply a version of the program I'm offering, right? And that might vary based on whether or not we offer a loan with tax credits available, or if we're offering a lease or PPA. And then I want to hit them with a question to keep things moving. Hey, so what we do different, we take the money you would spend with the utility and we actually use that to pay for your solar and replace that electric bill. What's the electric bill normally get up to in the summertime? Okay, great. Well, hey, I'm curious, what if it were possible, let's just say for a second, and what if it were possible that we could lock in a low monthly payment all year long that never went up again? What would that mean for you? Okay, if you could go solar with no money down, like if what I'm saying is true and you could go solar and the payment was actually less than you're paying right now, any reasons you see that would be a dumb decision? And I love asking questions this way that give them a little bit of chance to tell me no, to explore things. And also I want to ask what questions, how questions. I want them to open up and they be able to tell me what they see the benefits are. And as I start planting those seeds, I'm going to follow up by building the dream. I want to paint a vision of what the future could look like. I'm going to tell stories about others I've worked with. I'm going to use language like imagine if, or if you could see, right? Like things that make them think ahead, right? And then I'm going to continue to ask more and more questions. You know, what that might look like is, hey, let me tell you about how we helped your neighbors and what he experienced and how it's gone for him. And then you paint this picture of like the pain they were in before they got started with you and what they've loved since they went solar. Same thing. Imagine if down the road you didn't have to worry about rising electric costs if you could pay a locked in price when everything's going up. Now, I might also throw in some questions that get them to think through the cost of staying where they're at. So I call this the reality check. I really want to challenge their way of thinking and maybe challenge their reasons to stay where they're at. So yeah, what happens if you don't go solar? Would it be a bad idea to have some more options? I might even ask something to the effect of, hey, obviously it makes sense that electric prices will keep going up, right? Everything has gone up. Eggs have gone up. Milk has gone up. Gas has gone up. Everything's going up. And here's the reasons why it's going to keep going up. Aren't you excited for that? Oh, why aren't you excited to see your electric prices go up? Why wouldn't you be supportive of the electric company continuing to raise their rates? If there's nothing you could do about it, why get upset over it, right? Now, the truth is we actually have some other options. We actually have some ways you can go solar and have a very good option. You have a choice. You have an option. You could have some control. So yeah, I really just want to make this a simple invitation. And then often I'll follow up with, if they decide to meet with me, hey, why would you actually let me come back? I'm a stranger. You don't know me. Why would you let me come back? And I love doing that because it gets them to sell themselves. They start telling me the reasons they want to go solar or the reasons they want to look at it. Most people know that solar is a good idea. There's usually one or two sticking points that's kept them from doing it. There's obviously some more objections that can come up in the solar process, whether that's on the doors or in the home. But these same principles apply even in their home. If we sit down with them, we want to help them see what a vision of the future could look like, what the problems are with staying the same. Get them to enunciate by asking them, how would this change things for you? What would this do for you? Why don't you want to stay the same? If they tell you they do want to move forward, why would you actually want to do this, right? Give them a chance to let you know of any doubts and at the same time move themselves forward. And when we sit down, that's where the way we differentiate ourselves is talking about things other than the price, right? Especially if we're going against other competitors, we have to help them know what makes us different. And I think that's where it's like you differentiate or you die, especially when you're going against competition in this saturated world of solar. And so I want to talk about some pillars that can really help you bring some extra value in your consultations. It's not just about talking to more people and selling more people, although that can really help, right? The more people you talk to, the better chance you have. And I found it's like, hey, is there ways I can actually show them how I'm different? So one is unmatched expertise and strategic insight, like really knowing your stuff, really knowing the ins and outs of the solar industry. So many people just sell on price that they can't talk about anything other than the price. Helping them see you can help them with batteries, or that you understand the utilities electric rates and the buyback rates, and that you know the proper size they should size their system. And I found if I just tell people, hey, if you don't go with me, here's what you should do. You should call them back. Yes, they have a better price. If you're not going to go with me, make sure you set up your system this way. That alone has helped me win so many deals while I was in solar. Next is we want to provide exceptional and proactive service. I found it can be so helpful to be aligned with a solar provider or a solar installer that actually has a good reputation, that shows up, that's on time, that comes back when problems come back up, that charges a healthy price. Look, if you want the lowest price in the industry, good luck if things turn and things go bad. Those are the companies that are going to be the first ones to leave, right? It's not about having the lowest red line, but it's like, hey, do I have a solar partner that can really provide exceptional service? And then look, another thing I think that's important is just being ethical and being transparent on how things work. It's okay to let people know you make a good living doing solar. It's also not okay to smudge the lines or to just say what you need to say to win the deal. Too many times I see solar reps making these big, huge promises, whether it's around the tax credit, whether it's about what the bill's actually going to be, where you can win so much business by going in and being honest about this is how the tax credit works, or being honest that, hey, no matter what you do, and most utilities, this is the case now, no matter what you do, you're always going to have a little bit of an electric bill. And if anyone tells you different, that's not true. Like being able to just tell the truth can help you so much. Look at being future focused towards solutions and innovation. This is the solar installers and less on the sales rep side are those that focus on the battery management and battery systems. Look, it's not just a problem to generate the power. It's also a problem to store the power. And the utility companies, it's still a problem for them too. Like they have these big peaks in power and demand. And if demand can be leveled out with batteries, that does so much. And then it's just about being a part of a compelling brand and empowering story, whether that story is yourself and your own personal brand in the solar industry, or being a part of a company that has a good brand and has an empowering story. Stop competing on price alone, because that's a self-defeating and unsustainable race to the bottom that no one can truly win in the long run. Start competing on differentiation, expertise, service, and a powerful and authentic brand story that resonates with your ideal customer, really on a deeper level, and empowers them to achieve their long-term energy vision and financial goals. In the next video, we'll shift our focus a little bit and maybe even shift industries. If you're looking for more help, whether that's solar or in sales, subscribe to the Everyday Sales Leader, hit that notification bell, and join our growing community of sales professionals committed to excellence, ethical practice, and building a truly sustainable and impactful business that serves both our customers and our communities with integrity and vision. What are your biggest frustrations and challenges with differentiating yourself in the crowded solar market? And what unique strategies and approaches have you found to be the most effective in cutting through the noise, building unshakable trust, and connecting with your ideal customers on a deeper level? Share those insights and best practices in the comments below, and let's learn and grow together as leaders and innovators in the industry. Thanks for watching, and remember, selling is life.